So this innovation is something that we're focused on. We will be innovating in the field of hyperopia as well as myopia, but I think one of the most interesting ones is presbyopia. Obviously, I have this issue as well, and as we saw in the last session, there were lots of questions regarding ICL platform and presbyopia. The challenge and the interesting thing about presbyopia is it's not just a refractive issue, it's functional and it's dynamic. However, we have the one platform that could possibly provide a solution. So let's zoom out a little bit as it relates to presbyopia, because presbyopia is not just one time point. As we just talked about in the previous session, your patients are going to evolve in their 40s and 50s and beyond. Presbyopia looks very, very different. So this is where our innovation is growing significantly. We want to address this continuum from very early presbyopia all the way through to late presbyopia. So I think it's been mentioned a couple of times. Evo Vivo was our first approach, extended depth focus lens for presbyopia solution. However, we're not stopping there. As I said, we believe presbyopia is a continuum and we want to provide your patients solutions for every stage in their presbyopia journey. So ultimately, though, at the end of the day, everything comes down to clinical confidence. Two areas of evolving innovation for us are around preoperative planning as well as the injector system or insertion devices. Look, honestly, preoperative planning, we've mentioned it a number of times today. We're committed to supporting all of the incredible research that we've talked about today, as well as all the incredible research that's being published on this topic. We at STAR want to support all of this innovation. And then everything around preoperative planning all the way through the surgical flow are areas of research for us. We're working to support you in your individual surgical approaches, working for you to bring you the next generation of tools that will facilitate safe and predictable surgical outcomes. So what I hope you get out of everything today is historically we've been changing the eye to fit the solution, but what if the solution can fit the eye? I truly believe that innovation at STAR is not about incremental change, it's about fundamentally rethinking how we correct vision, combining materials, science, optical corrections, and precision. And thanks to you all, clinical insights in a single platform. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you for giving us a little bit of a sight picture into some of the innovation. There are hopefully wonderful things that are going to be coming. But as we focus on today, for one, first of all, thank you for coming. Thank you for spending the time here with us. The way that we started things this morning was welcome here, and then we went right into a little bit of what was going on, real world examples, what's happening in China, what are some things happening in Japan, what are some of the things happening in Korea, what about Singapore? So we got a little view of how things are being done there. Then we talked about quality by design. The design of Evo, the way it's made, it's an amazing quality. We've all known that for years, but we started to learn a little bit more, especially about the fibronectin. I thought that was really pretty amazing, and we, for years, have had really nothing about it except theory, and now in a relatively short period of time, we have doctors on one side of the Pacific in Japan, on the other side of the Pacific in California, coming up with studies to show there's truly fibronectin. It's real, it's there, it can be studied, and it happens as early as at least 9 days. It may be earlier than that, but that's very early on when the lens is put in. Part of why it's so, you've been saying that it is really it's so biocompatible with the eye. And we see that. In practice, now we have some theory behind it. We have some actual hard evidence behind the theory. We then went on to navigate some of the ICL options in our personalized vision correction. A little bit of how do you talk to the patient about laser surgery, versus ICL surgery. And STAR will never want you to criticize, we just want to criticize other options. We just want to focus on how good the EVO ICL is. I think you're doing that, but how do you manage that with patients who don't know about it so much? We went on then and talked about forgiveness by design. So forgiveness by design, quality by design, those are some things you'll be hearing, because I think that really tells the story of the EVO ICL. And in that aspect, it's actually quite interesting to hear. We're beginning to see this a little bit more doctors saying it's not so critical to say a specific bulk number. We're not focusing on the number of the bulk. We're thinking more exactly as a specific number that's good or bad. And kind of saying that 250 to 750, we probably shouldn't call that optimal. We maybe shouldn't even focus on those numbers. We should just focus on, does it fit in there well? Is the patient clinically doing well? Because it's so forgiving by design. And it was great to see the talks on that. We then had a break for lunch. We had a group photo, and